Today, we're looking at the Shimano Sustain FJ. Is this thing still worth it in 2025, now being 4 years old? Let's find out. So this is a great reel from Shimano, and like I said, it's going on 4 years old now. This thing's about due for a refresh. I've heard rumor of Summer and iCast and this reel being revamped. I don't know how truthful those are, but it wouldn't shock me if they did revamp this reel this summer, but we'll have to wait and see for that. But I like this reel a lot. It's a really good mix of lightweight, very, very smooth feel, but still being extremely strong. It's got the metal body, it's got the MGL rotor, so it's just very, very lightweight, but very tough for being so light. So we're gonna get this reel in. So we're gonna go over the specs of this reel. We're gonna tell you everything about every piece of it, the drag, the weight of it, the bearings, all that jazz. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna see how it feels in the hand as well. Then we're gonna talk about, is this thing still worth the price? We're gonna talk about a couple competitors maybe in the price point in the market and see how this stacks up against those, so stay tuned. So before we get into any of that, guys, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Something like 80% of our viewers are not subscribed, which is crazy. And I would really, really love for you to subscribe to the channel. It's an easy, free way that really, really helps us out a lot. Takes 2 seconds down below. Just please hit that button, and it makes sure you don't miss out on any of our future videos because we got a lot of stuff in store. So with that, let's get right into it. So let's start with some of the features of this reel. I kind of already hinted at a couple of them. But we'll start with the body itself. This is Shimano's Hagane body, so it's a cold forged aluminum body. So you're getting all kinds of rigidity here, and you're getting also a very, very lightweight body. The strength to weight ratio on this body is awesome, as well as, I mean, all their other Hagane bodies. They just get incredible rigidity, incredible strength out of a ultra lightweight body. So their Hagane process is a cold forged process, so none of this is cast. It is cold forged out of metal, so they're basically bringing these giant presses down and stamping this. So it's just a much stronger way to create a part out of metal as opposed to casting. Casting can make things very brittle, you know, to breakage and stuff like that. So you're not dealing with any of that in their Hagane bodies like this one. And then the rotor they're working with here is their MGL Rotor. So it's ultra lightweight. You can see the little badge on it right there that says MGL. So this really helps with overall weight of the reel as well as the startup inertia. So what that is, that's the, you know, the force it takes to start the reeling action. Some reels it would be pretty hard to start, but once it's started, it's nice and smooth. That's startup inertia. So here it just barely takes anything. I mean, if I stop the handle there, and the weight of the handle will literally just, I mean, just drops the rotor and starts spinning like that. So very low startup inertia here, very smooth, but we'll get into the full feel later on in the video. And I like this hybrid here, the MGL rotor combined with the metal body. This makes me think of Twin Power XD. They make a few reels with this kind of hybrid deal. The Vanford's like full MGL, does not have the metal body. The Stratic has the metal body, does not have the MGL rotor. So this is just kind of a mix between the MGL series as well as their core solid series, they call it, which is, you know, stuff like the Stratic, Twin Power FE as well. So it's just a hybrid between the two, and these things pair very well together, the rotor and the Hagane body. And then speaking of Hagane, they have the same process in the body of this reel that they made with the body. They've got Hagane gearing as well, so same process, just makes a very strong gear that's going to last a long time. Then another note about the gear, they've got micro module 2 in the gear technology here. So what you're getting is very small gear teeth. So what that does for you, you have more teeth meshing together at any given time as opposed to larger teeth where you're only gonna have a couple. So with smaller gear teeth, you're getting more teeth meshing together, which decreases the strength and pressure that's applied to each individual tooth. So you're separating that amongst more teeth. So what you're gonna get there is gears that last longer, and this really helps with the smooth rotational feel of the reel as well. You're also getting X-Ship here as well. So here's what X-Ship does for you. So think about the rotation of the reel on this axis as far as the handle. It's got to convert to this axis to make line lay across the spool when you're reeling it. And it does that through a pinion gear. And the pinion gear slides right over the main shaft of the reel. And sometimes under load, since the pinion gear is over the main shaft, sometimes under load when you're pulling really hard, there can be a tendency for that main shaft to come out of alignment, which throws the gearing between the main gear and the pinion off slightly. So it's just I mean, that's not good for anything. If those gear teeth aren't aligned, they're gonna wear, they could skip, you could break teeth on them. So what X-Ship does is it throws a bearing on the top side and the bottom side on, over the main shaft on the top and bottom of the pinion gear, which just really helps keep it aligned so that no matter how hard you're pulling on a fish, those gears are staying perfectly aligned no matter what. As far as water intrusion, you're getting X Protect as well. So they have some fancy terminology for it, but in a nutshell, they're putting extra water resistance in the line roller and the stopper bearing section. These are two very, very common places for pieces to fail. So they're just getting extra protection on the line roller so salt does not attack it as quickly. So it's nice to see around some of the most vulnerable points of the reel, they're putting a little extra water protection in those. It's probably a small thing, but you got the long stroke spool. So you got a taller spool there, which is supposed to help you cast farther. So it's just a little taller than a lot of competitors out there. And drag system, you've got their cross carbon drag as well as the rigid support drag. So just basically standard carbon discs there. They give you very, very fine adjustments. That's one thing they've done to optimize the drag system is you can just get really fine adjustments to really protect your leader and your line if you're throwing lighter stuff. But also with the rigid support drag, very similar to the X-Ship when they're throwing bearings over the main shaft, they've got bearings to support the spool, which keeps the drag washers perfectly aligned as well, which just really, really helps. There's no hot spots on the drag disc. It's keeping them, perfectly done. It's like brakes on a car. Sometimes your rotors have to be resurfaced because they're not wearing evenly. And these two bearings and that rigid support drag just really make sure that they're wearing evenly and it's staying perfectly smooth and you're getting full capacity at all times. So that's the big features, the main standouts of the Sustain. So let's get into the specs. So this reel comes in sizes of 2,500 through 5,000, but I've got a 3,000 in my hands. So all the specs are gonna be for this 3,000 size. So this reel has a gear ratio of 6.0 to 1, has a max drag of 20 pounds. It weighs 7.4 ounces, has a line capacity of 200 yards of 10-pound braid, retrieves 35 inches of line per crank, has 9 bearings, and this reel costs 320 bucks. So now let's get up close with this reel in the hand and see how it feels. All right, here we are in the hand. Very, very lightweight, obviously. Very, very smooth feel, almost no startup inertia. You can see that handle almost wants to fall on its own. It was doing it earlier. I mean, it's super, super lightweight rotational feel. Let's feel the bail on it. Bail feels good. Super heavily assisted. Nice click back. Yeah, it doesn't kick you. It doesn't have a bunch of recoil on it. The reel looks great, obviously. That black and gold and a little bit of silver in there just looks super, super sharp. Let's hear the drag on it. Standard Shimano sounding drag, not too loud, not too quiet. You're definitely gonna hear it when it's going. Yeah, feels very, very rigid, very, very well built. Almost zero handle play. I mean, ever so slight amount, which is totally normal. Yeah, I mean, it feels great. It looks great. You're gonna love it. All right, so now let's answer that question that I proposed in the beginning of the video. Is this reel still worth it in 2025, being 4 years old now? And I think we got to think of the biggest competitor, which in my opinion is going to be the Saltist MQ from Daiwa. You're kind of right in that same price point. And let's talk about the differences just real quick between this reel and the Saltist MQ. Saltist MQ is definitely going to be a little heavier. Feel in the hand is very similar. You've got a power handle on that Saltist MQ. And I think that reel is just a little better suited for the larger, heavier application. This reel is only available in 2,500 through 5K. The Saltist MQ is available in like a 2,500 up to like a 14,000, I think, maybe even bigger than that. So this reel, to me, if you're throwing artificials only, or even lighter, live baits, if you're just lighter application fishing, not for the gigantic species, fish like redfish, snook, trout, stuff, very simple fish like that. I mean, snapper, flounder, those lighter inshore species, this is gonna be a better reel for you. It's lighter, it's gonna feel just as good. Doesn't have a big wonky power handle, which I think is kind of goofy on a 2,500 like the Saltist MQ. So smaller sizes, lighter application, this is gonna be a better reel. Now, if you're doing something, heavier fish, bigger cobia, tarpon, fish like that, they're just more powerful. You're probably not, casting artificials a ton at fish like that. So I think the Saltist MQ is gonna be a little better for you. It's got bigger sizes. You're gonna need that for fish like those, and that's gonna be a better option. There it is, guys. There's the Sustain FJ. Let us know what you think down in the comments. We want to hear from you. And if you thought this video was helpful for you, please give it a like and a thumbs up. And again, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. We really would love for you to do that. We'll catch you in the next one.